So now I have the nose and the white portion sewn in place for the nose that I made. Now I'm going to show you how I sewed the smaller white portion in place with the safety koala nose. So I'm going to place the safety koala nose now. So I'm just taking one of my 44mm koala noses and I'm going to place it right where I want towards the towards the upper portion of the white. And I only have like one round around the top of the nose. So I have one round of the white color around the nose, and then I have enough room here to make a small smile. And then on the back you have room to go through the actual head before placing the safety latch. So I'm not going to place the safety latch until I place it onto the head. But before I do that, I want to make the cute little smile. So you're going to need your tapestry needle and the black colored yarn. So then after you have your black colored yarn and your tapestry needle, you're just going to go make sure that your nose is straight before you start to make this smile. Then once it's straight, you're going to come right in the center, just like I showed you before. It's the same way. And then you just come up from the wrong side and leave a loose yarn end on the back. And then you're just going to go straight down. I went about 2 rounds. And go back towards the wrong side. And then you're just going to go up to the side for a smile. And then go back in the center. And then you want the other side of the smile to be the same, the exact same as the other side. So don't make a crooked smile unless that's what you want. Then just tie a knot on the back and trim the loose yarn ends. So now you just take the front of the head, and remember the loop where you left off is in the back. So leave that loop in the back, and you want the front of the face. And you can make sure by using the top of the head's magic circle, count down 11. I've already counted down, and it will line up exactly how I want it with the bottom of the white portion 1 round up from the bottom of the head. Remember, this is the shorter portion, shorter white portion. Here's the longer white portion. So the longer white portion you need to make a few more rounds, but with the shorter one it will fit at this point where we left off. So then you can take, and then once it's positioned, remember you need this last round to still crochet, so you don't want to cover that with the white portion. And then once you're happy and you have it straight, then you can take and attach the safety latch. Let me see, I haven't used this one. Looks like it's a dome-shaped latch. It's a little tricky to attach this one. There it goes. So you just kind of have to put a lot of pressure. There are some devices I think that you can purchase to help with these dome-shaped ones, but I heard it latch and it is secure. And so yeah, you just need a little bit of pressure. Actually, not a little bit, a lot of pressure on the side, and that's as far as I can get it, and it's on good. So then once you have the safety latch attached, then you can take your tapestry needle, place it onto the long end that you left for sewing, or the same colored yarn, and then you're just going to sew all around the border of the white portion, securing it in place. Now for the eyes. So you can have fun with the eyes like I've shown you. You can either make the white with the same that you use for the white portion behind the nose. You can make your little circle behind the safety doll eye. You could also use a felt cutout. That would work as well. If you have some extra glitter felt, white glitter felt, you can do that as well. My husband's favorite is this one with the white felt behind the safety doll eye with this cutout shape. But for this one, I'm going to be using the same yarn style that I did for the ears. Isn't that gorgeous? I love how that looks. So this is going to be for the female koala. And those safety doll eyes are just simply stunning. You can see the pupil split like the koala's real eye, and then there's also some glitter on the side. Just gorgeous. I love these. And this is 21 millimeter from Glass Eyes Online. So I made this round portion the same way that I showed you for the white. It's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. I tried it with 6 single crochet in the magic circle and I thought it was just a little too small. So I went ahead and did the 2 single crochet in every stitch around for a total of 12 stitches, just like I did for these safety doll eyes, and I like that method. Even though it comes out a little bit larger, it's still beautiful. I like it. And the thing is, if you're using this style of yarn, you don't want to use your 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. Switch to your 6 millimeter crochet hook for this style of yarn. It's just easier to crochet with. Now for these, the posts are a little shorter, so I don't want to go through the head too, because I want it to make sure it's secure. So I'm going to take the safety latch, and these are a little bit of a dome shaped too, and I'm going to go ahead and attach it. Oh, these go on real easy to the back. So you heard it snap and it's secure. So it's on there really well. And I like to, the portion where I slip stitched will go towards the bottom. Or I might, yeah, I'm going to put it towards the bottom. So you can decide where you want it, but I think it looks better towards the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made it. Even though I showed it with the white, I'm going to show with this style of yarn. So I draped the yarn across my 4 fingers, used my thumb to stabilize, wrap the yarn around my 2 middle fingers, hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. And again, you're using your 6 millimeter crochet hook with this style of yarn. Just go under those 2 loops, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So just go into the magic circle, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through both loops for 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you just hold the base of the 6 single crochet with your 4-finger and thumb. And you'll have these 2 loops on the opposite side. Go ahead and pull on one. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing. And remember, you need to fit your safety doll eye through the center, so don't close it too tight. Just leave a little bit of an opening, just enough to get your post of the safety doll eye through. Then take that loose yarn end and pull on that. Then you're going to take and turn your work so that you can work into the first stitch in the round. You're going to go into both loops of that stitch with your crochet hook. You're going to bring up a loop and then make a single crochet, and you're going to make 2 single crochet into every stitch around until you have a total of 12 stitches in the round, and then come back. Then you're just going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch over. Just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Then you can go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and just pull enough yarn through to sew the eye onto the face. And then you can cinch that slip knot down. Then you're ready. I always put that towards the bottom. And then you're ready to take your safety doll eye. Make sure the slit of the pupil is up and down vertically. And then position it where you want it. And then once it's positioned how you like it, then you can take and attach the safety latch, securing it in place. And then it's ready to sew onto the face of your koala. Now this part is critical before you continue on. You want to make sure that your safety doll eyes are level and look the same on both sides. So here's this one. And then here's this one. So with this one, I put it slightly higher. And then this one, I put the safety doll eye even with the nose. So you can decide how you want your eyes to look. Now you can leave your eyes the way they are, or you can add some eyelashes. I'm going to show you how to make the eyelashes now. You just take your black colored yarn on the tapestry needle, and then you just go right the middle center, right beside the right side of the eye. And then, of course, on the other eye, it would be on the left side. The outer aspect, I should say. So the middle of the outer aspect of the eye, right in the center, come up, leave a loose yarn end inside of the head, and then you're going to go straight up over one stitch from the outer portion of the white or gray of the eye, and then 2 rounds up for the top eyelash. Then you're going to go 2 rounds down, straight down, and then come back up with your tapestry needle, and then go right back into the center where you first started for the second eyelash. And then you can decide if you want the third one. I usually like to make the third one. So I'm going to go down 2 rounds again. And then go back into the center. And then you have your eyelash, and you can repeat the same thing for the other eyelash on the opposite side. This is what it should look like when you're finished. You can see how adorably cute it's turning out. So I like this style too. It's just a lot of fun. You can decide, and you might want to make all of these style of koalas as well. So again, I just want to stress how critical it is for the eyes. You want to make sure that they're lined up equally. You don't want one eye up high and one low. You want them to be symmetrical on both sides. So with these glass eyes online eyes, you can see how they kind of bulge out a little bit, which looks good on these koalas. I also have the other style of eye, which is a little flatter. So these are just regular brown safety doll eyes, 60/60 eyes. And you can see because of the flat safety latch, it's a little bit flatter. But the bulging isn't that much more or less. They're just a tad bit more. Just put them so you can kind of see. So it doesn't make a remarkable difference. So now everybody should be caught up at the same point no matter what face that you decided to make for your koala. I'm just going to recap the head so that we are all in the same place in the back of the head before we continue on to close the head. So we started on the top of the head with a magic circle, 6 single crochet and then 2 single crochet into every stitch around for a total of 12. Then we made 8 increases. So we ended with 1 single crochet into 8 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 9th stitch, with a stitch count of 60. Then you made 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 10 rounds. Then you made another increase round, 1 single crochet into 9 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch with a stitch count of 66. Then you made 1 single crochet into 6 stitches. Then you made one decrease round, sorry. So after the 1 single crochet into 6 stitches with a stitch count of 66, then you made a decrease round, 1 single crochet into 9 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, which gave you a stitch count of 60. Then you made 1 single crochet around. Then you made another decrease round, 1 single crochet into 8 stitches, and then 2 single crochet 2 stitches together. Then you made 1 single crochet in every stitch around, and you're at a stitch count of 54. Then you made another decrease round, 1 single crochet into 7 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, then 1 single crochet around, and then that's when we started sewing the long nose portion and placing the eyes, and that's where we left off on the back of the head. So at any point you could have changed colors. So you can see I changed colors sooner with this one. So now we're all at the same point, and we're going to start finishing closing the head. So again, I'm back to where I left off in the back of the head, and I just finished the 2 rounds. One round was 1 single crochet in 7 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that, and then I made 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So it's just a recap. We already recapped so that both heads are now in the same space or spot. Then you can take and move your yarn marker up, and we're going to make another decrease round. For this decrease round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 6 stitches, and then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 6 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now you should have a total of 42 stitches in the round. Go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and then you're just going to make 1 round of 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So 1 single crochet in every stitch for only 1 round. So now you can add craft stuffing and then shape the head, and make sure that you shape the eyes so that you don't have the eyes like crooked or anything like that. You want them level, and you want the head to be shaped appropriately. And then once you have it shaped the way that you want, you can go ahead and continue crocheting, and you're going to add craft stuffing as you need and continue to shape the head as you close the head. So now we're just going to be making decrease rounds until the head is completely closed. So for the next decrease round, it's 1 single crochet into 5 stitches, and then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 5 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around. For those that already know how to make the decrease stitches, we're going to be decreasing in chronological order to close. So we're not going to be putting the 1 single crochet round in between. So now for the next decrease round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 4 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together. And you can see that I'm adding stuffing. You don't want to add too much stuffing to where you stretch your holes really large, and you can see the craft stuffing. So be careful. I've seen people do that before too. So you just want just enough to make the shape of the head, and that's the amount of stuffing that you want in there. You don't have to overstuff it. Then go ahead and finish the next decrease round, which is 1 single crochet into 3 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together. Now make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then you can see how I have a gradual closing of the bottom of the head. It's looking good. Next decrease round is 1 single crochet in 1 stitch and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around. Now you can remove the yarn marker. This is how my opening looks so far as I'm closing. Now I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches together until I'm almost closed. So single crochet 2 stitches together until almost closed. So now I'm almost closed. I'm going to go ahead and skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, and we're going to start making slip stitches. So you just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. And then you're just going to go around slip stitching until the bottom of the head is completely closed. Looks like I have a little blue fuzz from my loose yarn end that I used as a scrap yarn. So you want to keep that in mind. When you're using your scraps of yarn, you might have a little bit of remnant of the fuzz in there. And then once you're closed, I'm going to slip stitch one more time. And then once you're finished slip stitching, let me get under that last loop. There we go. Then you can go ahead and finish off, just yarn over and then just pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. And then this is how the bottom of the head should look when you're finished. Then you can take your tapestry needle, place it onto the loose yarn end where you just finished off. And then you're just going to go in anywhere, right where you finished off. Just go in and come out anywhere. And then just pull the loose yarn end into the center. Usually it's easier than that. I must have gone through a knot. And then once you have it buried nicely, you can take and trim the loose yarn end. And then the head is finished up to this point, except for the ears. So before I show you how to make the ears, I'm just going to show you how to make some little cheeks in case you want some cheeks for your koala. So it's optional, but if you want to place some cheeks on your koala bear, I used some of my leftover yarn, but I love this yarn. You can use any 100% acrylic medium 4 style yarn that's a soft pink or a light pink, pastel pink colored yarn. So for the cheeks, just get your favorite light pink colored yarn or whatever color that you want for your cheeks. And we're going to make the magic circle. Just drape the yarn across your 4 fingers, use your thumb to stabilize. Wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers and hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. I'm using my 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. Just go under those 2 loops and bring up a loop of yarn. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for a slip knot. And then just place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. Then with your 4-finger and thumb, just hold the base of the 6 single crochet. You have these 2 loops on the opposite side. Go ahead and pull on one. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one. This time you want to try to close it as much as you can, but you can always close it more later. Then take that loose yarn in and pull on that. Then turn your work. And you can decide if you want your cheeks to be this size or if you want them slightly larger. I think I want to go a little bit larger, so I'm going to go ahead and make 2 single crochet into every stitch around until I have a total of 12 stitches in the round. Then, after you finish the 12 stitches in the round, go ahead and slip stitch into the next stitch over. Just yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Then go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the cheek onto the face. And you're going to need 2 of these. Then you can take and sew the cheeks in place. So I put it on my female koala bear, and I lined up the cheeks, the outer cheeks, with the outer part of the eyelashes, and also just beneath the portion, the gray portion behind the eyes. Or if you used white, it would be the white portion behind the eyes. And then I'm about 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches from the white portion behind the nose. So now I'm going to show you how to make the ears. You can set the head aside for now. I loved using Lion Brand homespun yarn for my ears. So that's the yarn style that I chose. And with this style of yarn, you're going to need your 6mm crochet hook. So we're going to start with the magic circle. Go ahead and drape the yarn across your 4 fingers. Use your thumb to stabilize. Wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers and hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then take your crochet hook, go right under those 2 loops, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to make 6 single crochet into the magic circle. Hold the base of the 6 single crochet with your forefinger and thumb. You have the 2 loops on the opposite side. Go ahead and close one. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing. And then take the loose yarn in and pull on that. Now this time, we're not going to be working in a circle. You're going to keep it so that we work around the 6 single crochet. So now you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to turn your work. And you're going to turn your work so that we're working around the dome shape that's facing towards the left. You're going to make a single crochet into the same stitch. Then you're going to make 2 single crochet into every stitch back across. I'm just going to work this with you because sometimes it's hard to see the stitch with this style of yarn, but you know the stitch is there. And then in the last stitch, I'm just going to make 1 single crochet. Try to get your hook into that last stitch. So I'm not going to give a stitch count because it is just difficult to see the stitches. So you know the approximate stitch that you're going to need, and this is how it should look. And so far mine is about 2 inches across. Now we're going to go back across to the other side. So you're going to chain 1 and then turn your work. So again, I have the dome facing towards the left. So now you're going to make 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Then you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and you can see how we're repeating the pattern. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the last stitch. And you see how you're creating the cute little dome-shaped ear. Then this is our last row. I should call it row because we're only making rows here around the dome shape of the ear. So go ahead and chain 1, turn your work, and again the dome shape is facing towards the left. Then you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. So you can see the pattern. 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and that brings you right to the end. I'm going to go ahead and make 1 more single crochet in the last stitch, and then that's it. Now you can go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and just pull enough yarn through to bury into your work, because you're going to make 2 of these for 1 ear. So for 2 ears you're going to need 4 of these, because we're going to make 2 for each ear. So go ahead, finish making actually 4 of these to make 2 ears, and then come back. I'll have a free downloadable sheet that you can find on my blog, www.HelenMayCrochet.com, and these are cutouts that you can make. This is the one with the white felt behind the safety doll eye. You just cut a little diamond out to fit the safety doll eye through, and then if you like the white felt in a circle, you can use this cutout. And for the ears, this is the cutout that you would use for the cardboard. The cardboard ear cutout is optional, and that's only if you're going to be placing the fabric on the ears. So now I'm going to show you how to place the ears together. Go ahead and get 2 of the pieces that you made or crocheted, and at this point, if you're making the fabric on the ear or placing the fabric on the ear, I'm going to show you how to do that. So again, this part is optional. So you can go print out the diagram that I have on my blog, www.HelenMayCrochet.com, or make your own. You can see that I made it 3.5 centimeters tall, and it's 4.5 centimeters wide. And then you're going to need a little piece of cardboard, because I'm going to show you a technique to sew it, and you'll need the cardboard to do that. Then you can get your favorite fabric. So you can either use a solid color, or if a little design will fit, you can use the little design. This is just one of the 97-cent fat quarter 100% cotton scraps of yarn that I got from Walmart. So now you're just going to cut a portion out of the fabric, and I like this design, so I cut around this particular design, but you don't have to have fabric with a design. You can do a solid color. I would choose a color that has some kind of speckled color through it. For example, I'll show you this. I really liked this color that I used for one of my koalas. You can see how it has a light blue and a darker blue pattern in it. So you could choose a pattern like this with different colors if you want for your koala. So now take your fabric and place it so that the wrong side is facing up. Then take your cardboard cutout and you're going to place it over the design. And then just use your pen, or you could use your fabric marker, whatever you want to use, as long as you can see the marking. And then you just want to mark about a centimeter outside of the design. So just approximately a centimeter outside of the design, all the way around your cardboard cutout. Then you're going to want to trace the cardboard cutout. So also trace your cardboard cutout too. Now you want to take your pair of scissors and cut along the outer border. So don't cut around the cardboard cutout border. You want to trace or cut the one that's a centimeter away from the cardboard cutout. So I have different colored threads. I bought this for really inexpensive. I think it was from Walmart. But I like this one because it has all these different colors in it. So you could pick whatever color that you want for your particular fabric. For mine, I'm going to choose a white colored thread. So now you want your sewing needle and thread. And you're going to take and you're just going to go just outside that inner cardboard cutout. So just outside of it. And you're going to go with your thread and then come up with your needle, so you're not going to go all the way through to the right side. And then you're just going to bring the needle through, and you want to just use one strand of thread, so don't double up your thread. And then you want to leave a little bit of a loose yarn end. Don't worry about tying a knot. You're not going to tie a knot because we're going to be pulling this thread. So keep a little bit of the thread. Don't let it, don't lose that thread. Then you're just going to continue about 1 millimeter away. You're going to go back in and you're going to stay about 1 millimeter away from the inner cardboard tracing that you made. And you're just going to take little millimeter bites. You can see how small of a bite that I made with my needle. And then you just bring the needle through. Make sure you don't tangle your thread. If it does get tangled, just untangle it. Make sure it doesn't tie a knot either. Let me grab it. And you're going to repeat this all the way around back to where you started. So you just keep making small stitches about 1 millimeter away from the tracing and millimeter size stitches. I did it again. I let go of the try not to tangle that initial. So I'm going to untangle that and then resume. So go ahead, finish making your little stitches all the way around and then come back. So now I'm back to where I started, and you still do not want to tie a knot. Just leave the little thread pieces there because we're going to pull on them in just a second. But now you're going to take your scissors, and you want to do this very carefully because you don't want to cut the thread that you just sewed. But you want to take and just trim let me get my other scissors. You want to trim the edge of the fabric just up to the stitch. just around the corners, because that will help the thread to fold over. So this is a curve. I'm just going to trim, and again, make sure that you do not cut the thread. Otherwise you'll have to do that all over again, and you don't want to do that. So just take and trim. This just helps the fabric lay flat. So again, here's a corner, so I'm going to trim there. And again, you're not cutting the thread that you just sewed. And then move the thread pieces out of the way. You don't want to cut those because you need to pull on them. And you're just going to trim the corner. Now take your cardboard cutout and place it right in the center, and then pull on the thread. So you want to pull on the thread, and then at the same time you want to fold the fabric around the cardboard, and then you're going to take and iron the thread fabric in place. Neat trick, right? So go ahead and iron the fabric down and then come back. So if you have the cardboard inside, iron the top right side of the fabric. Then you can remove the cardboard, reposition the inside to where the stitched mark can't be seen. So, and then iron it down. Then you have your piece ready to sew on the ear. So if you have a long enough thread, you can use that to sew it in place, but I don't. So I tied a knot to the two thread pieces that I had, and then I'm going to trim it to get them out of the way. And then I'm going to get a new piece of thread to sew the ear in place on the crochet ear. So now you only want one of the crocheted pieces for the ear, and then you're going to place your design on the ear. And if it hangs down a little bit, you can fold it up more and then iron in place, because you need to sew the bottom portion as well. So you can see how I moved up the bottom portion a little bit and then ironed it in place. Looks great. I'm going to go ahead and place it on my ear. I love how that looks. Then you're ready to sew it in place. So you just get your sewing needle and the same colored yarn as the fabric. Make sure that you have it lined up where you want it on the ear. Then take your sewing needle and you're going to come up from the wrong side. And you're going to come right next to the fabric with your needle. And then just bring that up and make sure you leave some yarn on the wrong side. And this time we're going to tie a knot to secure that thread loose yarn end. And I'm only using a single thread. Again, I don't know if I mentioned that. Then you're going to take and go right along the side of the fabric. So go right into the side of the fabric. Kind of hides the thread. And then you're only going to go about 1 millimeter or 2 stitch. Then bring, don't poke yourself, bring the thread and the needle through, and then go right back down into the crochet ear. And then you're going to tie a knot on the back. Then just reposition, make sure that the fabric is straight, and then you're just going to keep sewing. Just come up right next to the fabric. You're going to grab a little bit of the fabric with your needle and thread right along the side of the fabric. There we go. And you're going to repeat that all the way around until the fabric is sewn in place. And I really love this method because you don't even see the stitches. So the stitches are hidden. This is a quilting method that I learned from a YouTube video tutorial. I just love this method. And then this is what it looks like when you're finished. So I just love this technique. You can't see any stitches. And it looks great. So now, when you're ready, after you have your fabric on, or even if you don't have the fabric, you chose not to, just take the ear pieces. You need 2 of the ear pieces, place them on top of each other. Then you're going to join your crochet hook into both stitches in the corner. Then take your same style of yarn and you're going to bring up a loop. And remember, you're using your 6mm crochet hook with this style of yarn. Go ahead and chain 1. And then just set your work down and tie a knot. Then you're going to take and we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. That counts as your first half double crochet. And we're going to be making 1 half double crochet in every stitch around to the opposite side. You're going to leave the bottom unworked. So around the curves, you may have to place 2 half double crochet into the same stitch instead of 1. So you just yarn over, you go into the next stitch. Make sure that you go into both ear pieces. Bring up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for a half double crochet. And then you're just going to evenly space 1 half double crochet into every stitch. But like I said, around the curves, you may need to place 2 half double crochet into the same stitch. And the reason why you do that is because then your ear will stay flat. So now I'm coming up to a curve. So I'm going to go ahead and place 2 half double crochet into the same stitch. I'm going to go ahead and place 2 half double crochet into the next stitch around this curve. And then that'll bring me towards the top of the ear. Make sure that both of your ear pieces stay together or line up. You can tie a knot if you want to keep the pieces together. Then I'm going to make 1 half double crochet into the next stitch because it's on the top of the ear. And then I'm coming up to the next curve, so I'm going to make 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, and then 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. And again, you want to make sure that your ear pieces are still staying lined up. And then you're going to make a half double crochet into the next stitch. And then you're just going to make 1 half double crochet into each of the remaining stitches. And then we can finish off. Now I have a long end here for sewing, but I'm going to go ahead and leave another long end for sewing so I can sew the front and the back. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off, just yarn over, and I'm pulling enough yarn through to help sew the back of the ear in place. And then this is how your ear should look. And then you can tuck any of the loose yarn ends towards the center of the ear, and you may need to use your tapestry needle to kind of bring the knot from the outside, the right side, back to the wrong side, and just tuck those into the ear. So you're not going to need any stuffing for the ear. You want the ears to be fairly flat. Then you're ready to sew one of the ears in place. So you need two of the ears, so you're going to make your other ear the same way. So after you make both of your ears, go ahead and set your ears aside while I show you how to make the body. So for the body, you're going to go back to your gray colored yarn, drape the yarn across your 4 fingers, use your thumb to stabilize, wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers, hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb, and use your 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. Go under those 2 loops around the middle fingers, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. Then take your forefinger and thumb, hold the base of the 6 single crochet, go ahead and close the magic circle just like we did before. Then you're going to turn your work and you're going to place 2 single crochet into every stitch around for 1 round. So 1 round of 2 single crochet in every stitch around until you have a total of 12 stitches in the round. So now you can take and close the center of the magic circle. Just pull on that loose yarn end on the back, and then that closes up the center of your circle nicely. Then just grab your loose yarn end or your yarn marker, place it right where you left off. We're going to start continuing our increase rounds, which means that we're going to continue to increase the number of stitches in the round, just like we did for the head. For those of you that already know how to do this, we're going to be increasing to 1 single crochet into 9 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. So for the first increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 1 stitch and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. And I'm not going to give you the stitch count because all you have to do is add 6 to the previous round. So our previous round had 12 stitches in the round. You add 6 to that. That means that when you finish this increase round, you should have a total of 18 stitches in the round. Then just take and move the yarn marker up to where you left off, and then you're going to make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around. Then you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around. Then 1 single crochet into 4 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then you're going to make 1 single crochet into 5 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around. So now you get the idea of how to increase. So this next increase round will be 1 single crochet into 6 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around. Then the next one would be 1 single crochet into the 7 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next. Then the next round will be 1 single crochet into 8, and then the last round will be 1 single crochet into 9 stitches and 2 single crochet into the next stitch. So go ahead, finish all of your increase rounds and then come back. So now you should have finished your last increase round of 1 single crochet into 9 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and that should give you a stitch count of 66 for the round if you did it correctly. Now you're just going to move your yarn marker up to where you left off, and you're only going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 30 rounds. So 30 rounds of only 1 single crochet in every stitch. So after you finish your 30 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch, we're ready to start our decrease rounds, where we decrease the number of stitches in the round and start to close the body. Now for the first decrease round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 9 stitches. Then you're going to make your decrease stitch or single crochet 2 stitches together. So you just go right into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through all 3 for a single crochet 2 stitches together. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, 1 single crochet into 9 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around. Then you can take and move your yarn marker up to where you left off, and we're going to go in chronological order for those of you that already know how to close, and we're going to close the same way that we did for the head. So the next decrease round will be 1 single crochet into 8 stitches. And then after you make 1 single crochet into 8 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, 1 single crochet into 8 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now you can add craft stuffing and then shape the body. Again, you don't want to overstuff to where you can make the holes really large. You just want enough to form the body. And then you can continue to add craft stuffing as you close. And for the next decrease round, you guessed it, you're going to be making 1 single crochet into 7 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Okay, so now you know how to make your decrease rounds, and you can see how it's gradually becoming smaller and smaller for the opening, or closing, I should say. So the next decrease round will be 1 single crochet into 6 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together. Then it will be 5, then 4, 3, 2, and then 1. When you finish your decrease round with 1 single crochet and single crochet 2 stitches together, come back and I'll show you how to single crochet 2 stitches together and slip stitch closed, just like we did for the head. So now you can see that I'm almost closed, and I've been making single crochet 2 stitches together until I can't make any more. And then when you're almost closed, you can slip stitch closed. Just skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook, just like we did for the head. And you just keep going, rotating around, making your slip stitches until the body is completely closed. Then you can go ahead and finish off, just yarn over and just pull enough yarn through to bury the loose yarn end into the body. Then just take your tapestry needle, put it onto the loose yarn end, go right where you finished off, and then just come out anywhere. Pull that loose yarn end through the body and then just trim it.